Terms like AI and emerging technologies are, for better or worse, becoming buzzwords, and they're being used quite a bit. That then leads to people having misconceptions. So, what are you seeing as a very common misconception people have about terms like and concepts of emerging technology?
Well, I think a couple things about emerging technologies are important to note. And I think first and foremost is that people think they're off in the future. They're not. They're absolutely not. They're here today in some way, shape, or form. You just may not be aware of them or what's going on. And I think the other big thing to think about with emergent technologies is we tend to think of them in isolation of each other, right? So we think of AI, we think of quantum computing, we think of AR and VR, right? Those type of technologies, and we think of them in their own little lanes, right? But where the real power and exponential benefits come from is when you start to overlay and integrate those things with each other, right? So something that you thought had, let's say 100% improvement on what you're doing today, if you integrate that with something else, might be the 200 or 300% kind of our times improvement on those things. So I think we have to think, again, going back to systems thinking and think more holistically about some of these things. But I think the time from creation to adoption, that window is so short right now. It creates a whole nother set of problems in terms of how do you adopt and deal with that as an individual. But those are the two things that I think people should just be cognizant of and really aware of